Hi guys, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Ringside Recap. I am your host, Ninja the Ninja. Now let's get started with Friday Night Smackdown. Okay y'all, welcome back to the show. And we are 48 hours away from Clash at Italy. I'm very excited for this pay-per-view, or PLE. I think it's going to be a good one. I look forward to Roman's and Jacob's match. I just hope that it ends a little bit better than the last match they had. I look forward to all of the matches. I think it's going to be a good one. I hope they still later on decide to add more matches to PLEs instead of having like 4 big matches for a 3-hour show or 2-hour show. Hopefully they do something better than just having straight commercials for most of the show. I don't know. But I want to hear y'all thoughts later on towards the end of the episode. I will tell you my predictions for Clash at Italy this Sunday. Now, for people who do not know, Clash at Italy on the eastern side will start at 2 o'clock p.m. 2 o'clock p.m. And for everybody else on the west and everywhere else, y'all start at 11. Now, this will also go on to Monday Night Raw. The Monday Night Raw will have a special time starting at 2 p.m. Eastern and 11 on the West Coast. So, people who do not know and gonna be like, oh my god, I'm gonna miss the show. I told you, they said it past 2-3 weeks. So, there you go. But, this Friday Night Smackdown, I really don't have too much hopes for it. I think this is gonna be a pretty boring show. I know that Rhea and Jade are gonna have another stare down before Clash Italy. I'm pretty sure. Probably Gunther and Cody. I'm pretty sure. That's all who I know for a fact are gonna have something. But I'll let y'all know later on during the show how this turns out to be. But after all that, let's get started with the show. So, y'all, the show opens up with Jade Cargill, B-Fab, and Michin. And Jade Cargill is just gloating herself, saying how she's gonna be the next champion, and then B-Fab says the same thing, and then Michin says the same thing about Jade, just hyping Jade up, really nothing. But currently they're in Barcelona, and the crowd are booing them so loud, like you can't even barely hear what they're saying. So then Rhea Ripley comes out and gives Jade a little insults, how, she never can win on her own, she needs B-Fab and Michin. And then Jade says something about Rhea being not as big as she thinks she is. And basically trying to talk down Rhea, saying that she's not as big as Jade is. So then Charlotte comes out and Alexa comes out. And they both are on the side of Rhea, basically talking down Jade. Saying that basically you have the resume of a rookie compared to us being future Hall of Famer and legends, because we have more title reigns than you do. And that didn't sit well with Jade. And the funniest part about this is Charlotte Flair called B-Fab and Michin Jade's accessories to Jade. I think that was so funny. This promo, Charlotte said some good little punches that she was not holding back, but that leads up to a match with Jade and Alexa Bliss. So the match with Alexa and Jade, it was okay. It really doesn't need to be going crazy for Michin and B-Fab try to get involved with the match, but Charlotte and Rhea ran them off, and they all went into the back, and Alexa tried to capitalize, but it didn't work, and Jade hit her with the jaded and got the win off of Alexa. So then after the match was over, Jade got a chair and hit Alexa with the Jade on top of the chair. And then Rhea and Charlotte ran back, tried to stop her, but it was late. So that was that for that match. So then it jumps to Cody Rhodes trying to have an interview with Kathy about what happened last week with Sami. So then Sami Zayn came out, and Sami and Cody literally having a back and forth about how Sami tried to help Cody last week, but he wanted Cody to learn a lesson. That's why he allowed Gunther to choke out Cody last week. And Cody did not like that either. Teach me a lesson? You should have helped me. So then Cody was like, you know what? When I'm done with Gunther tonight, I'm going to show you a lesson, Sami. So I guess we're going to see what that's going to be. So then we jump to Nick Aldis having a conversation with Danhausen about Danhausen's experiment getting held up in customs, and now he needs a new thing to get his experiment. So him and Nick have some back and forth, and Nick Aldis told him to improvise. So then the Miz comes out and he's mad because Kit Wilson isn't there, and he has a match against Axiom. So they have back and forth, and basically Nick Aldis will tell Miz that, well, you think you're not good enough because you don't have Kit, and Miz is like, I'm in my prime, I don't need Kit Wilson, I'll beat Axiom. And he's okay, go do it. But then in the background you see Danhausen carrying stuff into a room, and then the lights flickered, so who knows what he's gonna do by the end of the show. So the second match of the night was The Miz versus Axiom, and this match was okay. I didn't really enjoy this match neither. I guess it was a good match for Axiom because Barcelona is his hometown, so it was just like a homecoming for Axiom. Good back and forth. It just didn't really have anything special around it, but Axiom did pick up the win against The Miz due to, I believe, Danhausen's antics of him messing with the electricity. So that was that. So then it jumps to Damian Priest and R-Truth. R-Truth is still not medically cleared to compete, and the doctor said if he gets hurt again, his deductible is gonna go up. He is hilarious. He's so funny. Why? Your deductible? Oh my, well, I don't blame him. But he's like, Damian, I got a better tag team partner for you. And the partner was Royce, and Damian was like, no, I don't trust him. He and MFT go way back, and just a whole spill of that. And Royce is like, you know what, I don't want to team with you because you don't trust me. Now, when Royce did pop up, R-Truth like tuck his chains in and called Royce Keys Debo, like off of Friday. Cause people who don't know, Debo stole Red's chain that his grandma bought him. So they're gonna have a match together versus one of the two of the members of MFT later on. So then it jumps to Sami Zayn talking to Candice LeRae, but he was actually talking to Johnny Gargano, who is still planking. I cannot wait for this to be over. This is honestly annoying. It doesn't make any sense. It's not funny to me, but he goes on saying about the Cody thing, how no one respects him, and we're the true real wrestlers, and anyway. So then it jumps to Matt Cardona, and Matt Cardona is like, Sammy, like, I was on your side, but you've been acting crazy, and they have a back and forth, which is gonna lead to them two having a match later on because Sammy didn't like how Matt Cardona was talking to him, so that will be a match later on tonight. So, y'all, next little thing, we get a quick little segment with Charlotte and Rhea about Alexa getting hurt from Jade, and Rhea's like, don't worry about it. I'll handle Jade at Clash of Italy. And Charlotte like, if you don't do it, then I will have to. So, can we see Charlotte come back to the main title picture? Possibly. So then it jumps to Damien's match with MFTs, Tyler and Tama Tonga. Royce Keys is his tag team tonight because Truth was not medically cleared. And this match was probably the better match of the night. I enjoyed this a little bit more than any other match that they had so far. Great back and forth. Solo tried to get involved. Well, he did. Well, he did get involved, but then R-Truth came out, and that didn't work because that just caused a distraction for everybody. So then Tyler Tonga hits Damien with a chokeslam, and the MFTs won the match. So I guess we're going to see next week where the story is going to take on to. Then it jumps to Nick Aldis and The Miz again, and The Miz is complaining about his job. So then Danhausen comes some type of distraction that catches Nick Aldis' attention, and they had this whole little moment like they did last week of looking around Danhausen's little room. So, I guess on Sunday we're going to see what it is or what it could be, what type of mini clone of Danhausen this can be. But I guess we'll see on Sunday. So the next little thing we had Tiffany Stratton and Chelsea Green, and them two. I don't know what they're trying to do. I think Chelsea wants to be a tag team with Tiffany so she can like sabotage her to get the championship back. But them two have some back and forth that Chelsea thinks that Tiffany is going to be in her corner later on during the show for her match. And Tiffany's like, no, I'm not. You came out to my match. I didn't ask you to be there. And she basically said, it's not that deep. We, don't take it serious. And Chelsea's like, you know what? Right. I shouldn't take it that serious. Or it isn't that deep. So, I don't know. I don't know what this is going to turn out to be like. Maybe it's going to become them two of the tag team one day. Or never. I'm not sure. This is a kind of confusing little time that they're in for the Women's United States Championship. But I do hope that they do give back to Chelsea. I think she made it entertaining for the championship. But it's kind of boring in other people's hands if it's not Chelsea. So, I don't know. So, guys, the next match of the night, we had Matt Cardona versus Sami Zayn. And this was a good match. Honestly, this might beat the tag team match from earlier. Great back and forth between Sami and Matt. This was great. It's like old school wrestling, a lot of back and forth, a lot of counters, just old fashioned good wrestling. I really enjoyed it. The crowd seemed really into it. They even had some people were chanting for Sami Zayn, so he might do get some real fans out there. Who knows? But it ended up Sami picking the win off of Matt and stealing that little argument that they had earlier. So y'all, the next segment of the night, we had Trick Williams and Little Yachty, and Trick is just doing his normal gloating himself, talking to the fans, and I'm gonna just sum it up that he decides to declare himself in the King of the Ring tournament. So then Carmelo comes out, and Carmelo is saying, you don't even need to qualify to the King of the Ring tournament because me and you still need to go back for the U.S. Championship because I got sucker punched. And Carmelo was going through everything that happened to him, and Trick is like, you're making excuses, so you don't deserve anything. And them two have a back and forth. So then Ricky Saints come out, and he tries to intervene himself saying like, no, I need the U.S. championship, and I want to go against Trick for the championship. And then him and Carmelo go back and forth. Then him and Trick go back and forth. And Trick is like, you know what? It doesn't matter which one of you short kings are going to go against me. I'm going to be both of you, and I'm still going to be the U.S. championship. And Ricky Saints try to say something back, but then Trick Williams trick slaps Ricky Saints, and then he gets pulled back by Little Yachty. So I just summed that whole promo up. It was like a 10-minute promo between all of them, so I just summed it up for you. But I can honestly see all of them having like a triple threat in the future. If they have a triple threat together, that would be really good. I hope WWE makes it a real thing. That I think a triple threat would be much better. So y'all, the next match of the night, we had Ricky Saints versus Carmelo Hayes. And this was a good match. This, honestly, another okay match. Probably up there within the show. I'm going to rate this a 3 due to the ending of the match. The match ended up going into a double countout. I feel like it was a rushed thing. Someone must have told him, hey, double count yourself out, because at the time of the recording it's almost 10:30 and the show ends at 11, and I believe that Chelsea has a match later as well. So I do feel like this was rushed, and it could have been a potential to be a great match ending if it wasn't for that double count out, which is like very random. How often do you see a double count out like that, and it's a regular match, nothing even going on? But it was a good match. I enjoyed it. I wish it wasn't a double count out at the end, but yeah, it was a good match between the two men. So the next segment, we get Tiffany Stratton with Nia Jax and Lash Legend. And basically it's Nia telling Tiffany that, it looks like you don't have Chelsea as your partner today. And it just Lash and Nia making fun of Tiffany and Chelsea. Okay guys, the last match of the night, we had Chelsea Green versus Nia Jax. And this was a funny match. I love this match. I miss Chelsea. This is the first time Chelsea has been back in the ring for a couple months. Good, like, power dynamic match. Nia just outpowering Chelsea this whole entire match. Chelsea did some things here and there, but it really was Tiffany Stratton who did come at the aid of Chelsea Green to hit Nia with the championship when Lash tried to get involved. And then Chelsea picked up the win against Nia. So, possibly Chelsea and Tiffany tag team? Maybe? I don't know. So, then it jumps to Brie Bella and Paige. And Kathy is giving them an interview about their championship. It's them saying the same thing over about how no one believed them and they're still the champions. So then Fatal Influence come around and JC Jade basically declares herself into the women's Queen of the Ring championship, and then the other two girls are going to go against, will try to get a shot for Paige and Brie's championship, and that was the end of that. Okay, y'all, we have the last segment of the night. It was Cody Rhodes and Gunther, and they're just doing the typical last time face-to-face before the PLE. And first, it was Cody Rhodes coming out to the ring, acknowledging the fans. Then Gunther come out before Cody can even say a word. And he did basically tell Cody that he is the face of the company. Kind of like with Sami Zayn, he's the golden boy, he's the face, he's a Nepo baby. He's been handed everything since the time he walked through the door. He left and came back, and now he's a champion, and just so on and so on. So then Cody Rhodes jumped back and says that, Gunther, you claim that you don't want the spotlight, the light, the fame, the fortune, the whole thing that comes with being the champion, but I know deep in your heart that you secretly do want to be a champion and you want all of this to come with it. And Gunther just shook his head like, no, I don't. And Cody basically was like, you know what? At Sunday Clash of Italy, I'm gonna show you why I'm easy to find and hard to beat. So as Cody was trying to walk away, Gunther grabbed him and he goes down the history of choking all the people that he retired, and he tells Cody that he is going to make him tap out and he will become the new champion, and that ended the show. So I'm gonna give the rate for the show today, I give it a 5. I feel like it could have been a little better, but I know they're in a whole different country. So I think my favorite match tonight was actually Damien's and Royce Keys match with the MFT. But y'all, that was the show of tonight. I want to thank y'all for hanging out and listening, and I will definitely see y'all again on Sunday. And for the reminder, Clash of Italy on the eastern side will start at 2 o'clock, and for everybody else on the west side, it will start at 11. And it also goes for the next following Monday Night Raw. It starts at 2 in east and starts at 11 on west, so be on the lookout for that. So I'm going to go ahead and give my predictions for Clash of Italy. Okay, y'all, here is my predictions for Sunday's Clash of Italy. Here are the matches. You have Cody Rhodes and Gunther. I think Cody is going to retain, but I can see a little bit of Gunther coming out to win this. I can see a little bit, but I think honestly it's going to be Cody. Gunther was kind of a boring champion. I don't think no one really wants that right now, unless Cody wants to take a break for himself. Then you have Rhea and Jade. I think Rhea's gonna win this. I don't really see it giving to Jade. I didn't enjoy her as a champion. I'm not sure if anybody else really enjoyed it, but I didn't. Then you have Becky and Soruka. I think this is gonna be Becky, because I did hear that Sol has an injury, so I don't know if that's gonna affect how she's gonna go against Becky. Then you have Obafemi and Brock Lesnar. I can see this going to Oba. I feel like Brock might lose again to Oba, this time a little more cleanly. But I can kind of see Brock winning this, but I don't know. It just, I don't know. I don't think he would. And the last match of the night, I think for Tribal Combat, I think it's going to be Roman. Even though a little bit of my heart kind of wants to see Jacob, just to see how they're going to play it out. But I can see Roman winning this. So I believe that all the champions are going to retain. I don't see them changing hands. I don't see anyone changing hands this pay-per-view. Hopefully it's going to be good. I think it is. I think the matches are a little bit better, but I guess we'll see how that happens. But once again, I want to thank you for listening, watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, comment if you want to, share if you want to, and I will see y'all again on Sunday. So be sure to be blessed, love one another, and mental health matters.